like to start my session. See, this session is improving time and task management. Basically, we are this program, 5 days FDP program related to improving personal effectiveness is very important from the perspective of developing the personal skills, personal effectiveness. As you can see, the schedule of the lectures that has been designed in such a way that on every day you are learning one or other, important personal effectiveness skills. And in that series, today we have that how can we improve the time and task management skills. Very often, you may find out the people saying that they do not get time to do a particular activity. Whenever they say that they get an invitation or from to attend any function, or they get some kind of activity, activity involvement invitation, they simply say, I don't have time, sorry, I can't attend that program or function. So do you wonder that these people actually do not have sufficient time really in the real sense? Or what is the problem that they are replying in this manner, that they do not have time, they do not have sufficient time to do this activity, that activity? So you see, we all, have 24 hours in a day, everyone, isn't it? But the only point is that we are not able to manage our time effectively and efficiently. And then why to manage the time? Actually, we people are social human beings, and we have to accomplish so many tasks, on daily basis. And accomplishing these tasks may be related to your career, may be related to your social life, may be related to your professional life, and so on. And these, if you say that, no, I would skip this role and I will not perform this role, particularly social role or professional role, you can't do that, because being a social person, we have to play certain roles, and these roles are important. Social human being, professionally also we have to earn our bread and butter, we can't skip that. Socially also, we live in a society, we live in a community, we have certain responsibilities towards them also, we can't skip those roles also. So but the point is that we all are having the same time frame, 24 hours in a day. So the problem lies in managing the time towards the tasks effectively. Now, how can we do it in practice? Now, that is the challenge. Some people, I would like to give you examples. Dhirubhai Ambani, a good, business tycoon. Dhirubhai Ambani, Adani, Tata, all these people are also having the same time, 24 hours. They are good and successful businessmen. They are managing their time so effectively that their business is also is running very smoothly, and it is doing par excellence. All right. But we, as a common man, academician, or maybe any other professional person, we also learn to manage our time effectively. So how is it possible to manage the time? What are the things which you should keep in mind to manage your time to do the particular task? So with this brief, introductory background about the time and task management, why it is required, we need to move on, like why, what is time management and what is task management, and how it will be helpful for us in managing our effectiveness, personal effectiveness at workplace, so that the people, they appraise us. Yes, this is very efficient person, this is very efficient person in terms of completing the task in due time. Okay, so please move on to the next slide, others. All right, so now you see, we need to understand that what is time management and what is task management, and what is the difference, and how we should start managing our time. Okay, so one thing is, you know, time is actually very important, because we all get limited time, 24 hours in a day, fine, and we have to assign this time to various activities. Now, how to assign the time to various activities? So time management is the ability to use your time productively and efficiently. Okay, if you are using your time and which is not generating, or which is not giving you any output, then it is the waste of time, isn't it? So involving your time, or just putting your time into the tasks which are not going to give you any output, it will be the wastage of your time. It will not be a productive time. So time actually needs to be invested in productive activities only. Okay, sometimes, so you may say that attending a marriage function is not a productive activity. You may say attending a marriage function is not a productive activity, it will be a waste of time. No. Is it a waste of time? Of course not, because in this way you are creating an output, a productive social capital for yourself. Okay, so if you are creating a social capital for yourself by investing the time, that activity is not unproductive, it is a productive activity. So your time has to be invested in certain activities which are productive. All right, now we need to identify which are those productive activities, and this is not a constant. There is no fundamental rule that this particular activity is productive, this particular productivity is not active. We cannot classify the activities in such way. This is subjective phenomena. This is a subjective phenomena. Any particular activity may be productive to one person and may be unproductive to another person. Okay, so what is productive and what is unproductive, that is subjective phenomena, and therefore the time has to be invested in these activity very carefully. All right, so the task, then comes the task management. You see, now task is simple, the activity, monitoring the various stages of your assignment, of your project, of your activities, from beginning to end, from static to end. And based upon this monitoring of your stages, you may take actions, that how much time a particular activity is taking place, and whether it is there any lacuna in, deviation from the time we assign to complete this particular activity or not. That is what is, task management is. So time and task management go parallelly. We invest the time in some activity, in some task. Okay, so we invest the time in particular task or a particular activity, particular assignment or project, and that way this is, this goes parallelly, along with the time. So time and task management, both the activities, they go parallelly, all together. And as I said that we all get 24 hours in a day, so nobody can say that I don't get time, because it is only the, one skill, time management skill is lacking. That's why your answer is that I don't get time. Okay, so in order to understand that what is urgent and what is important, now you have to identify the activity, the task. Task has to be identified whether it is urgent or important. So any task which is urgent has to be done immediately. There has to be immediate action for that particular task. All right, so what is urgent? Any task which demands your immediate attention. But whether you actually give that particular task immediate attention or not, that really that may or may not matter. Okay, so few things. And what is important, now we need to understand the difference between these, urgent and important. So important tasks, these tasks, they matter. And if you do not do them, they may have serious consequences for others and for you as well. So, for example, if I ask you, like, there is a phone call, there is a phone call, and if you do not pick up that phone call, is it urgent or is it important? So if you do not, some people say, if I do not pick up a call, I will not be able to know that who is calling, and maybe that call might have been important to me. So answering the call, maybe at one particular point of time, if you are not busy doing some other activity, and you know that who the person who is calling is a known person, and you may not pick up the phone. So that may not be important task. But if you are getting a call from unknown number and you do not pick up the phone, that task may be urgent. Because if you do not pick up the phone, you may not be knowing that who the person is, why he is calling, or maybe that there may be some opportunity for you. But doing this sometime, and nowadays when this cyber threats, cyber security, cyber scams, frauds are, they have become very popular, picking up an unknown number is also very dangerous. So for some people, it may be completely not at all important, but for some people, it may be urgent. So what I'm trying to say is that what is urgent and what is important is not, clear to, there is no thumb rule. There is no thumb rule that you can say that this activity is urgent and it will be urgent for all. No, there is no universal rule. Again, it is a subjective phenomena, that particular task or particular activity which is urgent for anyone, one person may not be urgent for others. Okay. Similarly, going to going to the doctor may be important. It may be important. It may not be urgent. For example, if you do not go to the doctor over a long period of time, you may develop some health problems. So it is important, but the task can be, it can be delayed, or it can be procrastinated, right? It can be delayed. So it is not urgent. But if you are facing heart attack, there is a problem, heart attack, immediate. That task, that activity, taking the person to the hospital is an urgent. But if you are, you are having some health issues which are, of regular nature, dental problem, say for example, dental problem, skin problem, or something like that. So these tasks are important but not urgent. Similarly, another example, like what can be urgent and what can be important. Now your children are in the school. Now picking up the children from the school may be both urgent as well as important, isn't it? So if you do not pick up the children from the school, the child has to wait in the school. There may be certain other consequences as well, and that's why it is important as well as urgent task. Okay. But do you think that giving time on reading some funny emails and checking Facebook frequently, is it important or is it also urgent? These activities, you can give a certain specific time for checking the mails and browsing the Facebook, or just giving your time on social media for particular specific time duration can be given. So these activities are actually neither urgent nor important. So I hope the distinction between this urgent and important is clear. Okay. So and I must say, I am again repeating the same thing, that this difference between urgent and important is actually subjective to the persons. There is no universal rule that every activity which you classify as urgent will be urgent to others as well. No. Okay. So it's a subjective phenomena. Move on to the next slide. Others. Now comes that, once you decide that what is important and what is urgent, for you, you can review the tasks on daily basis. Okay, review the task on daily basis, and you need to ask yourself every day, which of my tasks need doing within next 48 hours. So that those tasks are actually urgent tasks. So within next 48 hours, you want to complete the tasks. These tasks will be your urgent tasks. And on the urgent tasks, which ones are more important? So this is a good idea to list out your tasks in the order of importance, rather than giving them an absolute important or not important at all, such kind of labels. So you just prioritize, or you just make a list in the order of importance of the tasks. Okay. uh, I'm talking about the urgent tasks, those which have to be completed within 48 hours tasks. So among the urgent tasks, there may be most urgent task also, which needs to be completed within a 24 hours time duration. For all those non-urgent tasks, you can also again make a list that which are more important. Okay. And again, it is a good idea to list them also in order, rather than giving them an absolute distinction. So after this, when you just make a list of the tasks in the order of their importance. Now next task which you can do is to make a priority matrix. Now what is that priority matrix? Priority matrix is actually a matrix which gives you certain, clear cut areas, certain clear cut dimensions to do the task. Based upon, on x-axis, you rate the urgency of the task. So how urgent is the task on the x-axis? And you also make your diagram like this. You need not to do all this. Once you understand these skills, they will become your habit, and later on it will be automatically done. So at this stage, actually, I am trying to make you understand that how can you manage your time effectively. So on how urgent is the task, it may be the task may be of high urgency, and task may be of low urgency. Then you also, on y-axis, you make how important is the task. So if it is a low importance, or it may be of high importance. Now each box, there will be 4 boxes, based upon this matrix. We have 2 by 2 matrix, and using this matrix, we will have 4 boxes. Now each box should contain not more than about 7 or 8 tasks, based upon your list of the tasks. Okay. And you should start doing the task with do first action. So what are the tasks which are required to be done first? They will be of high urgency and high importance. As you can see, high urgency and high importance. So you need to do the tasks which are in this box. Okay. And also the tasks which are of low urgency but of high importance. Okay. Low urgency but of high importance can be deferred. So you can do next time, maybe next week, because they are of less urgency, but they are also important. So you can do next. And then there is a high urgency but low importance. They are highly urgent, but they are given less importance. So you can do later. These tasks can be completed later. Okay. And there is a another matrix. Last block of this matrix is that the tasks which are of low urgency and low importance. So you need not to take any action right now. So don't do it. No action. Okay. So where action is required to be taken under these 3 boxes? Do first. You should start your taking action for the tasks which are actually in this box. Okay. So this is, you need to understand that how to prepare this priority matrix. And once you are able to list out the tasks, your tasks, and make the, you can classify these tasks under this priority matrix. You will be able to filter that which tasks are more important, they are to be completed first, and then which task can be deferred, which task can be you can do later, like that. All right. So this is all about the priority matrix. Next slide. Others. Yeah, next slide. Now let us, you need to look at the less urgent but important tasks. So I have already, you can decide what you are going to do with these tasks which are less urgent but still important tasks. So you can then you can schedule the, time into your diary to do them, or considering delegating them to someone else. So delegation is also important in time management. There may be some tasks, so which tasks can be delegated? Now you need to delegate the urgent but easier or less important tasks. So in the previous slide, if you see the tasks which are urgent, they are urgent, but they are easier to be done. Anyone can do those tasks, and they are less important. So in your daily life, you may find some tasks. You may that work particular, getting photocopy done. That may be a task. Okay. So you need not to waste your time in getting photocopy done. You can delegate this task. This is urgent. This may be urgent task, but it can be delegated to somebody else. So delegation also is important in time management and task management. And now keep on entering the slides, others. Now you can eliminate the non-urgent and non-important tasks. Okay. The tasks which are not urgent, neither urgent nor important tasks. So you need not to do any action, need not to take any action, as we have seen in the priority matrix. And finally, do the work. You start your work with the do now or do first list. When you finish it, move on to the scheduled work or task or matrix. If there are more tasks that you can manage in any quadrant, it is time to do some, delegate some, or maybe eliminate some. So you need not to have more than 7 to 8 tasks in any of the quadrant as a rule. I told you there should not be more than 7 to 8 tasks in your any quadrant. If there are, it means you need to again filter your tasks. So having many tasks also will not give you, it will not give you any productive output. Fine. So you need to have the tasks in the quadrants, in every quadrants, very carefully. Keep the you need to make very carefully the listing of these tasks, and allow apportion the time appropriately. Now that also needs to be learned. So I'll be sharing some tips to manage it. Now there is a warning, and while just practicing this priority matrix. The first thing is, as I told you, that urgency and importance of task is not absolute. It's a warning. You must understand that, and I have already shared that urgency and importance for a particular task, it is not absolute. It is only you who can decide that what you really think is important or urgent. All right. Secondly, the urgency or importance is not a fixed status. It means you should always review your task list regularly to make sure that nothing should be moved up because it has become more urgent or unimportant. So if you say this particular task is urgent, it may be urgent right now, but later, maybe after a week, it may not be urgent. Or any task which is important right now may not be important. It may be urgent in the next week. All right. Are you getting my point? So there is no fixed status to a particular task, whether it is urgent or whether it is importance. So this urgency and importance of a task, it keeps on changing. Therefore, you need to review your task list, like which is your urgent and which is your important task. Okay. And as I said that don't take too much pressure, while deciding the task. So you may be having a lot of tasks on daily basis, and the having a lot of tasks or activities may make you feel happy, because as you will feel that I am so busy person, I have so many tasks to do, and I don't get time to even to eat the food, to have the lunch or dinner. That's not a good sign actually. If you are saying like this is also a problem, because there has to be a balance in your activities, your tasks management. And if you are not giving appropriate time to your physical and mental health, physical in the sense like having proper diet, mental health means giving some breaks, giving some breaks while doing your particular tasks. So though that is important, so your physical and mental health is also very important. Okay. And when you practice this priority matrix regularly, this will ensure that you focus on what really matters, and you can keep your work flowing. Okay, your work will keep on moving. Fine. So you need to practice this matrix for managing your time effectively. All right, next slide. uh, Now I would like to see how you can improve your time and task management skills. So one way was like you have to practice this priority matrix. Along with practicing this priority matrix, what are the other yeah, which you can say that the tips or the skills, how can you improve your time and task management skills? So one is that you should align your focus. Okay, first align your focus. How can you align the focus? Focus, the what is focus actually? What are your ultimate goals? What do you consider as your ultimate goals? Now list out those goals into short duration, medium duration, and long term duration. Okay, so if you have listed out so many things to do, but you categorize them into three, like which are of short term goals, which are of medium term. Short term in the sense, you depending upon your time frame, you can think of this is maybe like within 6 months, maybe short duration, and then more than 6 months to 2 years, that may be medium term. More than 2 years or 3 years, that may be long term goal. So these goals, make a list of these goals and classify these goals into short, medium, and long term goals, and start with your short term goals. Okay, and work towards your long term goals also. Okay, and these goals will help you stay focused. So where your focus goes, your energy flows. So you can make a list of your goals, paste it on your on maybe on your board, or maybe at the wall of your home, whatever, wherever. And these will keep you stick to remain focused. They will these goals will allow you to remain focused, and then energy will be channelized towards these goals only. Okay, because every day morning when you see these goals, you will definitely be motivated towards doing those tasks. Okay, achieving those tasks. So you need to ask yourself, what actions produce the most value? Okay, what actions produce most value? you know and you need to address that, what are the outcomes that you want in your life truly? What are the outcomes that you want in your life truly? Okay, so these actions, you can listing these activities will definitely make you aligned towards your focus. Fine. So once you have the direction to move in, you will get a better sense of what actions deserve your attention and which actions do not. I hope I am making the things clear. So you can make this type of list, okay, and paste it in your at somewhere where you're when you get up first, your site goes at that particular place. So this is one. The second part is you determine your priorities. Okay. Second is, let's determine your priorities. As I said, how can you determine your priorities? By making a priority matrix based upon the urgent and important tasks. And also now from those long term, medium term, and short term goals, you can prioritize your tasks. See, prioritizing the task is very important in time management. You maybe have a long list of tasks, but which one is of your priority? That is important. Okay. So the priority in your priority list, the tasks which are urgent, which are important, that needs to be completed first. Okay, that you should give time to this. But how much time you should give to these tasks? Is it like whole time, whole day you should do all these tasks? No, that is also not the good practice. Otherwise you will skip the other tasks. Okay, so how can we do that? You can set smart goals. Smart goals, I think most of you are academicians, you must be knowing that how to set the smart goals. Smart goals are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bounded. Okay, smart goals. So if you are making a list of your goals, in your life or in a career, you should make a list of smart goals. They should be very specific, should be measurable in the sense like what is the outcome which you want to achieve from that particular goal. So that will be measurable. And it should be achievable also. Achievable in the sense like you should not be setting a target or setting a goal which is actually fictitious in the sense during your lifespan you may not be able to achieve. So they should be achievable. That goals should be achievable, and also they should be realistic in the sense there has to be some reality with your reality attached to your goals. It should look like, yeah, this can be achieved and it's realistic, it seems to be achievable, like that. And the most important, that you should make a time frame. You should assign a time frame that this task has to be completed within this time limit only. Okay, that's what you can set your smart goals. And sometimes, when you decide upon your priorities, you have to learn to say no to some of the tasks or some of the activities. So don't bother, like, if you say no, it means it should be it is based upon your priority. If you are saying no to some tasks or some activity in your daily life, it means your priorities are different. So you should learn to say no. Many of the resource persons previously also have talked about this, that you should learn to say no to some of the activities, some of the tasks which you really do not want to. They are not giving you any output, or they are not productive at all. So you should learn to say no. Okay, always you should also try to minimize the distractions. Okay, minimize the distractions. And minimizing the distractions means, like, there may be a lot of you may be having a number of tasks in your mind. Okay, and you would like to do all the tasks parallelly. So don't do that. The distractions can be minimized only when you remain focused to one task at a time, and you don't try to do the multiple tasks at the same time. Okay, so don't try to do multiple tasks. Our brain actually works well when we attempt one task at a time. There are very few people who are multitasking means who can perform the multiple tasks at one time. So I would suggest that not to go for the multiple tasking until or unless you have the capability of doing these multiple tasks. And this will help you in minimizing the distractions. Okay. And also you should hold yourself accountable. Now be responsible, whatever you are doing, make yourself accountable. This will ensure that whatever you are doing, it is your responsibility, be it a good or bad. So make yourself accountable, okay, for the particular task. And that will, when you make yourself accountable, definitely you will be giving your more than 100%. But if you are not accountable, it's a common psychology. If you are not accountable, somebody else, you are doing the task for somebody else, you will not be putting your 100%. Forget about more than 100%. But if you yourself make accountable for the task which you are doing, you will be giving more than 100%. Okay. And you can also the outsource the task, as I said, that if a particular task is urgent, but if it is of easiest nature and it can be done by other people also, it does not require your involvement, you can outsource, you can delegate that particular task. Okay. And that can be completed, that particular task can be completed within less duration of time. And you can also you must take a break. As I said, your physical and mental health is important. Taking too much pressure is not required. You should take a break. Okay. While doing the task, in between also you should take a break. Okay. So there are some now let us discuss, move on to the next slide. Others. Now let us discuss some tips for improving the time and task management skills. How can we improve the time and task management skills? So one way is priority metrics. As I said, you have to learn how to make the priority metrics. And always it is not necessary that you should make the priority metrics for all the tasks. No, it is not. Once you understand that how you can prioritize, or based upon the urgent works and important works, okay, the list of works, a list of the tasks can be put into the priority matrix. Okay. So however, priority metrics, you need to time management. When we talk about time management, it is more than just prioritization. Okay. It is also related to being able to work more productively, as I said. Okay. So time management means it is an investment. Time is actually, if you are giving a time to a particular activity, it's an investment. So you should think from that perspective also, because if you are giving a time and if it is not productive, it is wastage of time. Simply, it's a wastage of time. All right. So there are some tips. Number one, you should keep tidy. Keep your keep the you can create 3 piles of your stuff. Number one, the keep, give away, and throw away. So what are the tasks, activities? You can keep yourself tidy in the sense, like you can keep yourself busy by creating 3 stuffs for yourself. You can keep where you need to keep the records for anything, okay, or do something with it in future, then you can keep it. Okay. You can add it to your task list. You can give away. The next pile can be give away if you don't want it, but someone else might be able to use it, or it is work that can or it can be that can be delegated, then it should be delegated. So giveaway task means it can be delegated to someone else. So why not to get it done by somebody else? There is no expertise required. And throw away is the are these the things, or these are the you can they do not have any value, they do not add any value to you or to anyone else, then you just throw away. Don't make piling up of your stuff. So you should keep yourself tidy. Okay, this is one, and it helps in making you active when you do it this way. The next is that use to-do list. Okay, use a to-do list. A to-do list, where, nowadays, uh, those people who are not very much tech savvy, they can make a list of the tasks which are to be done on daily basis, early in the morning after getting up, or maybe before sleeping on the previous day night. You can make a to-do list for the next day. So whether these electronic or paper lists are, they are good way to remember for you, then you have to make a to-do list, and then you can see that what you have to do if you forget frequently. Okay, so you can consider highlighting the most important items in the to-do list. So the people nowadays, there are a number of apps also available on the Google Play Store, or at calendars also. So generally the people prefer paper and diary for to-do list. That is fine, you can make a to-do list in this way. But those people who are tech savvy, they can also install to-do list apps. So technology, there are a number of apps like Doodle, Calendly and Microsoft Booking, Google Calendar, and to-do list. There is a to-do list app also on the Google Play Store, which I generally use to manage my time. To-do list. So there you can also set the time limit, that till when you want to complete this to-do list, this particular task, and that helps you remain focused, and as well as uh, keep you may keep on track that which activity is remaining and which activity is uh, you want to complete. Okay, so this using a to-do list can be of it can be of great use to you for managing your time and task. Okay, next is, you have to pick your moment. Now pick your moment means, generally all of us, we have a certain time of the day where at that particular time we work better, our efficiency, our energy is at best level. So you should actually pick up the moment. You pick up the moment in the sense, like, you have to schedule, or you have to do a particular task which is difficult. Okay, and you should schedule that difficult task during that time period, that time during the day. You may be having certain time. For example, some people say that early in the morning they are fresh and energetic, so they can, and there is no stress also, so they generally feel that they can do more difficult tasks very easily in the morning. So you need to find out that what your biological clock says. Your biological clock may say that you can do most difficult tasks in the night. Then pick up the time, night time, for doing such type of tasks. Okay, so however, you also need to schedule these things that need doing at a particular time, like meetings, or a trip, or maybe to the post office you are going, and so on. Simply means that you cannot skip. For example, if you are doing the task in the morning, which is difficult task in the morning, but you also at the same time you are also having the meeting, so you need to prioritize, like, what is important, what is urgent. The meeting is urgent, so you can schedule your task at a later date. Okay, uh, another important useful option is to have a list of important but non-important or non-urgent small tasks that can be done in the gap of maybe 10 to 15 minutes between the meetings. So you can also have a list of small tasks which can be done even during the breaks. If you are having a meeting, there will be a meeting break, a break 10 to 15 minutes. For example, sending a mail. Okay, sending a mail to your boss, or to your any colleague. So that type of small task can be completed within these two break time also. All right, so that's how you can manage your time, your moment, your favorite, best time for uh, uh, best time for doing the difficult tasks. So you need to pick up the moment. Okay, next slide. Do not procrastinate. but do ask why you are tempted. So if a task is genuinely urgent and important, you need to get onto it. Okay, you need to do that task. You need to get on with that. However, if you find yourself making excuses about not doing a particular task, then you should ask why you do not want to do that task. Okay, why you don't want to do that task. So if it means you are delaying a particular task, you should ask like why you are delaying this particular task. You may be doubtful about whether you should be doing the task at all. Perhaps you are concerned about the ethics, or maybe you think that it's the best option that you can delay. But if you so, you may find others. If you may find others that others agree. Talk it over with your friends, colleagues, or manager at workplace, or family or friends, and see if there is an alternative that might be better for that particular task. So what I mean to say is that you should not procrastinate or delay, defer the task for a long time period. If it is in your list of the tasks, if whether it is a long term list, whether it is in medium term list, or whether it is in short term list, that goal cannot be deferred for a long time period. If you are deferring it, it means you should ask why you were tempted to include that task in your list. All right. So if you are convinced that yes, this is not required, then definitely you can remove it from the list of your goals. Then don't focus on it. It will unnecessarily divert your focus. Okay, as I already said, that don't try to be multitask. Don't try to be multitask. Generally the people, those who are they are not good at multitasking. As I said, our brain takes a time to refocus. When we switch from one task to another, it takes time to refocus on another task. There are very few and rare people who can do multitasks at the same time. Okay, so it is much better to finish off one job before moving on to another job. Finish first one task, and then you can move on to the next task. Okay, and that is the best way actually to complete the task and review the task. Okay, so if you have to do a lot of different tasks, then you can group them together and do the similar task consecutively. If at all you are required to do a number of different tasks, then try to do the similar task. You can categorize those tasks which are of similar nature, and you try to categorize these tasks into in a similarity nature, and the tasks which are of similar nature should be done consecutively one after another, so that it will not take much time and will not deviate your focus also. Next, you should stay calm and keep things in perspective. All right, you keep calm, stay calm, keep things in the perspective, meaning thereby that don't make haste. Don't make haste. When you make haste, your things, the chances of doing things wrongly increases. So when you make haste, just you have to keep yourself calm and move onto the your activities, your steps. Fine. So feeling overwhelmed by too many tasks, it can be very stressful. When you are having too many tasks and you are feeling overwhelmed, it will be stressful. When you are not able to prioritize, you are not able to make the list of urgent and important tasks, it will be a stressful environment. Okay, so for going home or getting an early night so that you are fit for tomorrow may be much better option than meeting a self-imposed or external deadline. All right, so don't be in hurry completing any task. All right, but you should definitely give a sufficient time so that the task is completed even before the deadline. All right, so take a moment take a pause and get your life and priority into the perspective, and you may find that views changes quite substantially. When you think, when you are not able to do a particular task repeatedly, just take a pause, give a break, give a break, keep yourself calm, and then look at the look at at from different perspective, look at the things from different perspective, and you will see that task will be completed. All right. So that's why that's how you need to stay calm, and that's the important of being calm. Okay. Another important tip is that you should plan your week on Sunday. So what you need to do in next week, you should plan on Sunday. Okay. Next, so planning for, you can prepare your weekly schedule, and if you prepare a weekly schedule and then you divide this weekly schedule into the daily schedule. So walking into your work week with a plan will help you focus on your top priorities. Okay, so you should take a few moments on minutes on Sunday and to create your plan for the whole week, and this will increase your chances of success by breaking down your weekly goal into daily tasks. Set yourself for success by scheduling low priority tasks for Fridays. Generally, the tasks which are of low priority means which are of less importance, you can schedule them for Fridays and other low energy times. So generally, when you see the energy level from Monday to Friday or Saturday, those having the 6 days week. So Monday to Saturday, Monday we are highly energetic. Okay, with a lot of ambition that I'll be completing this task, that task, so and so, blah, blah, blah. And during this week, highly energetic, and gradually the energy level comes down. So you can schedule the tasks which are of less importance on Fridays and Saturdays. Okay, low energy times, because the energy level is less during that time. So this, you should also remember that your energy and creativity level, it fluctuates throughout the week. So you should complete creative and demanding tasks on maybe Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, because these days your energy level is very high. Creativity level is also very high. That's the biological system, of human beings. So you should complete these tasks, which are of high importance and urgent on these initial 3 days of the week. Okay. And you can schedule your meetings on Thursday, Fridays, and so on, where your energy level is down, and you need not to again use your Fridays and Saturdays and Mondays for planning and networking, because they will require less energy. Okay, and also this energy levels, requirement of energy levels depends upon frequent upon person to person, fine, and then profession to profession. Okay, then you can also, another trip is that you can use the 80-20 rule. Now what is that 80-20 rule? 80-20 rule, this is also referred as Pareto's rule. Okay, where it is said that we can generally uh, give maximum output by minimum input. Okay, so this rule given by Pareto is also Pareto principle. It was conceived by Italian economist Wilfred Pareto, who actually observed that 80% of an outcome generally come from only 20% of its input. Now what does it mean? Suppose if you are you are in a profession where you are looking for the clients, the potential clients, all right, and you find that you are using social media also for finding the potential clients, and you are also sending the mails to the potential clients. Now you need to analyze. Now by just giving some time on social media, you got one client, but by sending the mails, you got 5 clients. So what is, now you need to see that which platform is actually important to invest your time. So by investing your time on sending mails will give you the maximum output. Since it is giving five, 5 clients by giving your time by sending the mails, so you can take advantage of this 80-20 rule and find out the activities that are a part of that 20%. So by investing 20%, you can actually gain an output of 80%. So that is what 80-20 rule. Okay, so you need to identify the platform, for analyze the situations that by by doing the particular task in which way will give you the maximum output. All right, so that's how the 80-20 rule says. All right, another example which you can take in place of 80-20 rule, not only the making the client. Suppose if you are doing the task, there may be number of ways of doing a particular task. Okay, but you need to identify that which way or which approach will require less time and will give you more output. Focus on that only. Okay, that is what the 80-20 rule says for managing the time. Okay, now next tip is that you can put a time limit on tasks. Now putting a time limit on task means as of now you have listed out the tasks to be completed but not allotted the time. What will be its repercussion? Its repercussion can be that if you are starting a task, and that generally takes 1 hour, it may stretch up to 2 hours. Since you are doing that particular task and you are allowing that task, 1 hour task, and you are starting that task. So you need to analyze that how much time will it take, will a particular task will take. For example, you want to send a mail of 300 words, say for example 300 or 500 words, you want to send a mail. Now you analyze, you say that, okay, it will take 5 minutes only to send a mail. No, there is no problem at all. Fine. So you assigned 5 minutes. Now when you start typing a mail of 300 or 500 words, what will happen? First of all, it means you assigned 5 minutes. It means you are underestimating or overestimating your typing speed. Is your typing speed, if you are, whether you are overestimating your typing speed. Now a mail has to be sent for 300 words. Can you type 300 words in 5 minutes? It means you are overestimating your skills, your typing speed. So when you start typing, you will see it takes 30 minutes to type. All right, and then later on you may need to proofread it. You need to make corrections. You need to make corrections for the grammar also. So that's how it will take particularly 1 hour time period. So it may be 1 hour or maybe more than that if your typing speed is not good. So you have to put a time limit based upon your capabilities for completing a particular task. And that way you need to carry out a time audit. This is what is called as time audit, and identify the task that take longer than the expected time. Okay, and set a time constant for those tasks which take longer time. So you need to set the time constraints for these particular tasks. All right. Next is that you should be 1 day early. Always set this in mind. We people, generally say that we work better when there is a lot of pressure. And that's why during the deadlines, we work smartly and efficiently. That's a common general phenomena for us. Sometimes I also feel like this, that yes, there is so much time left to do this particular activity, particular task. Okay, so a lot of time is there. I need not to do work right now. But is this a good approach? This is not a good approach actually. If the task is to be completed, you should set a target of completing a task, that particular task, 1 day early. Okay, or maybe as per your choice, maybe 2 days early. If you are more time efficient, you can make a a buffer, time buffer of 3 days, 2 days, 5 days, or week also, like that. Okay, so you can be ready. You can be ready in time. So that's how actually for most of the people this phenomena of working under pressure does not work. Okay, because what happens at the last moment, the possibility of making mistakes increases. When you work under pressure, under the deadline, this will actually create a stress in your mind, and then the probability of increasing probability of making mistakes increases. Okay, fine. So projects which are often take more time than initially, making it difficult to actually complete projects on time. You should take the time, generally when you have to complete the projects in time, then you should be ready with making these projects 1 day early. Okay, you should set earlier deadline for yourself, and you can stick to it. Okay, and you can plan to submit your work 1 day ahead of your schedule. So be 1 day early always of meeting the deadlines. Create Set this deadline for yourself, not for the boss. Okay, next is you can turn your system into habits. Okay, turn your system into habits, meaning thereby when you practice these methods of managing your time and tasks, this will become a habit. Okay, when you practice, so therefore it is necessary to form these tips or to practice these tips, the priority matrix, and whatever we have discussed so far, that into to make it a habit, you need to practice this on regularly basis. So continuous practice of these time management tips will help you to foster a productivity and productive mindset, and you can set a reasonable schedule which you can maintain over the long term, or at least a month. So as I said, that long term, medium term, and short term also depends upon the person to person, that what are their objectives, what are their goals, and these behaviors will become increasingly automatic over time. Okay, when you practice these, this will become over time. So generally, there is a study which is published in European Journal of Social Psychology. This study found that it takes more than 2 months before a new behavior becomes automatic, becomes a habit, and 60 days to be exactly 66 days, 2 months, or more than 2 months, or maybe exactly 66 days to make that behavior as habit. So if you are able to repeat a particular behavior or particular activity, particular schedule, the time management schedule or time management skills, for continuously for 2 months, then it will become your habit. So you need to turn this habit of you need to turn these activities, this practice of time and task management, so that into habit, so that you can become habitual of prioritizing the tasks, identify the tasks which are urgent or important, and how can you complete these tasks in scheduled time. And then lastly, the most important uh, tip for the day, for improving the time and task management, is take a break. Why I say take a break is most important? Because your health, your physical health, your mental health, both are important, both are precious to you. Do not take much stress on your much stress for doing the tasks. Okay, and you should not be putting a lot of pressure on you and on your colleagues also to complete the tasks, maybe on that particular the timeline or deadline. But if you make the list or schedule of the tasks to be completed, then the task will definitely be completed before the time limit. Okay. Okay. And further, I would like to add that in this world, in this world, there is no one perfect. Okay, no human being is perfect. So while doing the task, this is also, you can say, another tip from my experience or personal experience. So you should not strive for perfection. Don't strive for perfection. All right, there is nothing perfect in this world. Okay, that is why if you are striving for a perfection, it may be good, but it may not be perfect. So perfection is the enemy of good. When you are striving for the perfection, you may lose the good as well. Okay, so when everything, you say that everything must be perfect, it can neither be good or nor it would be perfect. Okay, so that's why you should not strive for a perfection. Okay, simply complete your task, and to the maximum possible, try to make the task to your satisfaction level. Okay, when you are satisfied, it is good enough. Don't put more time, don't waste more time on completing or doing that particular task. Okay, so you may fail repeatedly. Okay, when you attempt number of times doing the activities, you may fail repeatedly and you may make mistakes also. So look at these mistakes and try to overcome these mistakes, learn from the mistakes, and definitely you will be able to give your maximum possible towards the time management. Okay,